Hi, and welcome to Neo Does Makeup. I'm Neo, and today I'm actually going to be doing a swatch / review video for the new Sephora Pro palettes. Sadly, I can only get two, and I have the warm palette right here. Later on, you'll see the Editorial Palette. I couldn't remember the name, but I just wanted to come. Oh my gosh! Oh no! Okay, so. I've only used this palette one time, and already the shade Brass has fallen out. The glue's still sticky though, so I'm sure if I put it back in, it should stay. But that scares me. So what I'm going to do right now is actually swatch it. I'm going to be very careful, but I'm going to swatch it row by row. And there's 28 shades in here, and it's $68. So if I'll put up a calculation to say like how much it is like per shadow. But I had to say like 28. I mean, 68 for 28 shadows. That's actually pretty nice. And the quality is really good. Like I created this look with no problem. If you see the next look, you're gonna see I did have a little more trouble with that palette, but I'll save my whole thoughts towards the end. And yeah, so let's get to swatching. So we're going to begin with the top row closest to mirror. And right here is Canvas, which you can't really see. Oh, no, you can. Okay. Next is Oat. That's more my skin tone, actually. Then you have Biscotti. Okay. And then you have Camel. Next is Ochre. Wow. Love that shade. Next is Saddle. And then finally we have Auburn. So there's the first row. They're all super creamy, but okay, save that for later. Oh, and again, this is my skin with no primer on it, so this is purely just the pigments. So moving on to the second row, we have Sand, which is a very beautiful like pearlescent pink. Oh my gosh, it's a pink with yellow duochrome. Oh my gosh, I just realized that. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Next is Brass, which is the one that did fall out, but I was able to press it back in and it felt like it was secure. Next is Clay. Oh, I should have used that. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. And then you have Copper. Next you have Bronze. Ooh, that's pretty. Adobe. Oh, and there's a little bit of Sandstone. So there you have the second row. You have a lot of beautiful pigments. I wish I would have realized that sand was pink with gold in it. It's beautiful. Moving on to the third row, you have Hazelnut, Khaki, Peach, which this one is actually a little bit stiffer than the others, but it's pretty. You have probably like one of my favorite colors, Brick. Oh my god! Look at that. Okay. Next you have Terracotta. Beautiful. Burnt Umber. And Chestnut. Ooh, that's actually more like purple toned. So there you see. Again, without primer. The only one that was a little weird was this one right here, Peach. Okay, so now we're on to the last row, and we're first beginning with brown sugar. Which, oh, that's actually kind of pretty now. Next is caramel. Ooh. Next is sepia. Next is coconut shell. Ooh. Next is cocoa. Followed by cedar. And I don't know how they did this, but they got a creamy black, and its name is Oblivion. No, Obsidian. Why did I say Oblivion? Okay. So then here you go. This is the last row. Okay, so we're going to be starting with the first row, and I'm going to be going in with the first shade, which is a very white. This is only a finger swatch. I'm only digging in once. And let me, this is not easy setup to work in. Okay, so let me put it back here. So the first one is porcelain. And if you can see, it is very, very white, and it actually is showing up really nicely. I wish you could feel these because they're so soft and creamy. Oh my gosh. So this is a white gold. Next is rose quartz, which, if you know my channel, you know that rose quartz is the first tutorial I ever did from Steven Universe. And let's see, rose quartz. Yeah. The top row is very much like the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. It's a lot of kind of duochrome light colors. So next is Juliet, which I haven't used the whole palette yet, obviously, because I've only done one look with it, but these are feeling so nice. And there you can see, very much like the Alchemist palette. Next is the shade Moonstone, which I actually used, and it's very, I don't know how to describe it. It's very nice though. So this is Moonstone right here. So if you know the pastel, not the pastel gaunt, the Alchemist palette, you basically have opal, emerald, and sapphire. So this next one is more glittery, and it's called Ice. Although whenever you do it, it feels just like the others, which very nice. Only thing is, not all of these, but most of these have a lot of kickbacks. So here is Ice. As I said, very glittery, shimmery. So, and on to the last shade in this, it is Silver Coin. And oh my gosh, this feels super, super nice. And here is Silver Coin. It's more of a, it's reminding me a lot of the Kat Von D Glimmer palette for the Shade and Light Glimmer palette. If you look, it is that kind of like glimmer where you can definitely step it up using some like Fix Plus or any setting spray. So that was the first row, all right here. Now we're moving on to this row. And the first shade I'm going to be taking is this orange called Tangerine. Okay, next is Amy. Ooh, that's a really pretty like peachy salmon color. And no smell, that's good. Next is Eliza D, which, ooh, trust me, you're gonna love this. Only thing is with that one, it is a little more tougher. It feels like the others are very smooth and creamy. That one has a little more chalkiness to it, but it's very minimal, just being completely honest. Next is Tila. Oh my god, that is pink. So next is Maisha. That's pretty. Okay, next is Electric Violet. And the last one is Adi. Okay, so yeah, here you go. This is the second row. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the third row right here, more cool toned, I guess. Okay, so now first shade is Champagne. Ooh. I know you can't feel it, but it's so creamy. And there's still so much pigment on the finger. Next is Jeffrey. It's nicely pigmented. Next is Helen P. So next is Grass. Next is Sean. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, okay. Then you have Chris. And the last one is Dina. So as you can see, they're all more cool toned, a little more blue. And they all are so nice, actually. Like, some of these are my first time swatching them, so I did not know. Okay, so now we're moving on to the last row up here, which you have a lot, they're basically all like metallics, so I'm happy. Okay, so now the first one is Pink Quartz. More of that glimmer. Next is Wendy G. Yes. Followed by Loop. That's pretty. Then you have Caroline. Ooh. Okay. Okay, she pigmented. So next you have Hector E. Oh my gosh. That's so smooth. Okay, next is David. And then finally you have Ilda. So, yeah. So that is the last row. Again, a lot more of metallics and glimmers. And Ilda actually, even though it looks like a regular black, it actually holds glitter in it. So that was swatches of the entire Sephora Pro editorial palette. Okay, so here are my thoughts. The palettes are actually very beautiful. Most of the shadows are very creamy feeling, which is a thing for me because I'm one of those people that I'm very texture uh, oriented. So for me, having something that's very creamy, it might have just like a little bit more like kick up in the pans, but overall, they're not bad actually. I mean, my Tartus Pro probably has a little bit more kick up, and that's like my go-to palette for anything like neutral or just like it's basically like my go-to palette. So this is actually very pretty. Same with the editorial palette. So like you saw, beautiful. Are there shades that aren't the best? Yes, but at the same sorry. But at the same time, you're getting so many hits that the one or two misses can easily be overlooked. I think Sephora did a really good job with these, so I'm curious to see if they're gonna come out with more Sephora Pro palettes, and if so, I'm probably gonna snatch more up. Just being honest. Would I recommend this for someone? Yes. They are very creamy, they're blendable. I mean, this didn't take me long to do in reality. If the only reason it probably took long is because I'm like very detail oriented and I'm like, gotta do this right. But it's something that I could do in a few minutes and be done. Um, the shadows are super nice, except for like a few here and there that are just a little bit scratchy. But even then, it's not bad scratchy. It's just like, okay, this is a little more dense. Um, but yeah, with what I've experienced with these, I'd gladly get more. So thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.